the dinner party things you mustn't ever talk about at a dinner party, at least in the West. And we have 3 subjects that you cannot talk about at a dinner party, which is politics, religion, or sex. But the artists in every case address these issues, but not directly, in a nice, subtle, quiet, sly or humorous way. So this Englishman, Philip Eglin, says the new religion is football. So he makes a Christ figure using very, very old ceramic technique, and then he makes these big buckets, and he has the footballers. You know how when the footballers score a goal, they go, ah, like this. He puts the stigmata, like the Christ figure has, in the footballer's hands. And he's saying, football is the new religion. So he makes these, it's very humorous, very subversive, very English work in lots of ways. Tony Bond, New Zealander. Small, polished pieces which might be body parts. They look like they might fit inside the body somewhere, but they're not quite. And he arranges them around the wall. So you think, maybe this is about the body, about sexual things, but you can't really be very sure. Nothing to offend anybody. Judy Fox, American, makes 3 figures, young boys, completely naked. One is black, one is an Arab, one is white. And these boys are in power, they are standing like powerful men, famous powerful men, but they are completely naked and quite innocent, but at the same time they are assuming the positions they will do as adults. The next room is subversive arguments, which means it looks like one thing, but it might be something else. So it's undermining the conversation. It's suggesting one thing, but maybe there's something else going on here. So you look at the Taiwanese artist Leon, and he makes desks and chairs like school children's desks and chairs, like perhaps he used when he was a child in a small school in the country in Taiwan. So here it is, everything that you see is clay, but it looks like old weathered wood. Desks and chairs talk about childhood, but it's not nostalgic, it's not too sentimental. They are tough and tender at the same time, just like childhood is. Then you move to the last room, which is all about domestic discussions. And we have this in 2 areas. One is the garden, and this is very beautiful. And one is in the house, and this is not so beautiful. But in the garden, we have Japanese women who make work which is about venerating nature. And these beautiful pieces of Etsuko Tashima with glass and clay that lift up like flowers. And Kyoko Hori, who makes pieces that look like the inside of a seed pod. And Scott Chamberlain from America, who makes work partly about the European tradition of cutting bushes to make strange abstract shapes. So they're about the garden, of the garden, but they're not really. So all of the work in this area is about outside the house, in the garden, most of it very beautiful. And then you move inside the house and things are much darker and more worrying, if you like. So we have Sume Xu from Taiwan. She makes the table and chair from what looks like steel reinforcing rods. So you wouldn't want to sit in this chair and you wouldn't want to eat at this table. And New Zealander Raewyn Atkinson, whose work is a conversation with the ubiquity, the common finding of antidepressant medications in our society. Marek Sisula and Kristin Johansson, they both make work about what must be the most common ceramic in the whole world, which is fixtures for the bathroom or the sick room or the hospital room. Work which is really for body waste, things we don't want to think about to do with our body. These clean, pristine, hygienic surfaces which carry away all the things we don't want to think about. And then finally, the show ends with Chu Fangyi, and he makes a grid for the wall. And it's like he's looked at almost everybody else's work and abstracted it and put it into a grid for the wall. He makes these things which are about little pieces of our memories of our home. And they're all there in this grid on the wall, very white, very pure, very clean, but they are about the memories that are in the deepest parts of our minds.
To me, what that connects to is a sense of collaboration. In this case, the clouds will be over some other pieces where when you're experiencing the one, the experience will be heightened by the fact that the other is with it. So my clouds will have something extra added to them by the fact that what's underneath them relates in topic. The conversation is that it's expanding the meaning of the individual pieces and creating a context, creating something that surrounds it.